Hi guys, I am Colleen. I'm a person. I like to read and I like to write, but I do whatever on this channel. And today, this is going to be a bit of a get unready. Well, as much as I can. I just finished filming some shorts and I'm done. And this is sort of like my wind down, I suppose. I'm just going to yap about the one book that I've read. Full disclosure, I did DNF a couple ones. I DNF'd Once Upon a Broken Heart. Sorry. I know a lot of you like that book. I DNF'd it because I made a mistake, read the spoilers, and found out that she gets married to someone else first, and they don't get together within the book. And I don't know, it's not for me. I DNF'd If It Makes You Happy. It just didn't sustain my attention. I DNF'd The Vampire Mail Order Bride by Kristen Painter. I was all for it at the beginning, but somewhere along the way, I just was kind of... So the book that I read is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I did mention in a previous video that I very much liked the first book in this series. I thought it was a good move for her to step away from the not step away, but divert from the women in STEM stuff. Those books are also good, but I thought it was wise of her to sort of branch out as well into paranormal romance, because it's not something that people have gotten from her. And so yeah, I really liked Bride. I liked the political side to it. It was very nuanced. I read Mate, and this is about secondary characters. In the first book, Serena is Misery's bestie, and Cohen is like a father figure to Lo, who is the ML in the first book. So it's about Serena and Cohen. This is an age gap romance. Also, of course, a Fated Mates, because this is a werewolf type romance. And what else? This is sort of forbidden. Not sort of. Something about it, I didn't really feel the super pressure of it being forbidden, but it is technically a forbidden romance. This book starts off with the main characters already knowing that they are each other's mates, but they're like, okay, whatever. And it didn't really matter to them. That's how they made it seem to each other at first, that it's just like a casual thing. It's not that big of a deal. We don't have to pursue a relationship despite being each other's mates. And they establish a sort of respectful distance to each other. But of course, since the MC is quite a rare kind of breed, is that fair to say? She's half human, half werewolf. So she is sought after by all these people who wants to utilize and experiment on her. So she kind of needs the guys' protection. She moves into the pack, and all these things happen. And she basically is under the protection of Cohen. Now, I liked a lot of things about this book, but I also didn't like a lot of things about this book. I don't have notes, so I'm just gonna yap. I did like that they... Spoilers. I did like that they kind of maintained a sort of nuance to the story. Not exactly the same vein of like politics and stuff. This particular book took more of a cult-ish route, parallel to how complicated the situation was in book one. Both situations were kind of equally complicated, but in different ways. The premise is very interesting, but the execution is, it kept my interest, especially because there was a part in the book, a significant part of the book, where she falsely assumes that she has some sort of condition that is fatal and she's going to die soon. But it all works out because she's the MC, she can't die. That kind of sustains my attention. But on the other hand, there's this sort of feeling where a lot of the book and nothing really much happens. They're just circling each other around the house and just living life, and I couldn't really feel that much of a romantic chemistry between them. The banter, great. Their dialogue was so witty and so smart, and they could volley like back and forth with each other, and I loved that part of it. But romantically, I couldn't really feel it. They were just very fun housemates, if that makes sense. It's not that they're boring characters, but yeah, the romance kind of was compressed to later in the book, like much later in the book, to the point where all the exciting bits I feel like were pushed to like the last 30% of the book. A big chunk of the book was just them at the house, fear mongering about her probable death, lying to each other, and I couldn't really get into the romance because it just felt like nothing much was happening between them to develop that romance. I mean, it was fun, but yeah, as far as the romance and the sequence of events, the story progression, I think there was something amiss there. Not to the point where I wanted to DNF it. I still enjoyed it to a certain extent, but there were some parts where I was like, TikTok, nothing's happening. The showcase showdown of the story kind of suffered because of it, because as I said, everything was kind of pushed to the last 30% of the book. So the confrontation with the cultists, it wasn't that impactful. I felt like it happened and was concluded very quickly. In theory, I'm all for like the soap opera, my name is Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die sort of a stuff. There's a part there where they find out these revelations about their parents and how they're actually supposed to hate each other because of their parental history and all that stuff, without giving too much away, but also kind of, yeah. But it didn't really matter much because there wasn't much left in the book, so they're like, our parents hated each other. Okay, let's just move past this. It was a build up for a whole lot of nothing. A significant amount of build up, and then once you get the conclusion to these things, it was kind of a bit of a slightly sort of a letdown, bit anticlimactic because it was resolved quite quickly. Everything was wrapped up quite quickly. Even their forbidden love situation was resolved, I think, with one sentence. It's just, they asked. It feels like there's 70% of the book, just everyone was just waffling around the house, which is kind of relaxing and soothing if it's like a light read. But I don't know. Something could have been adjusted there. Her writing style, I think, is really good. It's just the division of parts of the story is what I'm saying. Does that even make sense? Am I making sense right now? Overall, I had some things that I liked about it, had some things that I didn't like about it. If you ask me whether I liked this or Bride more, I definitely liked Bride more. Sorry. Oh, I forgot to point out, one of the things that I did like about it is that Misery and Lo, the characters from the first book, they are seamlessly integrated into this book. It wasn't like a token throwaway. Oh, they bump into each other at a bar or whatever. It's just they are still characters, and the move from them being primary characters to them being secondary characters, still important, still play a big part in the story, but I appreciate that it's not like a throwaway, oh, we saw them this one time over there. I think it was seamlessly integrated. Their characters are seamlessly integrated into this particular story. I'm split on it. I liked it. I did finish it. Maybe like a 3 out of 5 stars. But I definitely liked Bride more. There wasn't anything hugely objectionable about it. And if she did come out with a third book for this, I don't know about who, but I wouldn't say no to it. I would still read it. And yeah, overall, neither here nor there. I am currently reading Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver, not part of the Ruinous Love trilogy, a different series. If it becomes a series. Right now it's the first book, but it's kind of the same vein of Butcher and Blackbird. I mean, the whole Ruinous Love trilogy, but I felt like Butcher and Blackbird had such an impact, and I really, really loved it. In the second and third book, sort of felt like it was on a decline. I don't know if Tourist Season is an attempt to regain that level of, because it's so far I'm like 40% in. It's written really well, and it does give me the same vibe of Butch and Blackbird, but I will reserve judgment for when I finish. And yeah, I only read one book, still reading another book, so you will have to wait for another yap about Tourist Season. And yeah, check out Made by Ali Hazelwood if you want to. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe again if you want to, and I will see you guys next time.